In AD 1881, Shanghai Harbor ushered in a group of Euro people coming back from America by ship. They were exactly the students dispatched by the Qing government with military expenditure to America for overseas study. They returned to their homeland after 9 years. However, what greeted with them were neither fresh flowers nor applause, but the treatment of being escorted ashore as prisoners. What on earth did these former promising pillars of the nation do to make them fall into such plight? Go through the history and identify the truth. Speaking of this event, we have to mention a person, Roan Hong. He was one of the first group of students going to America for study. After he returned from study abroad, he felt that there was a large gap between America and China in terms of science and technology. He submitted a proposal toward the Qing government about dispatching Chinese children to head to America for study in 1868. It was already 8 years after the Second Opium War in China at that point, and 4 years after the Taiping Revolution. Ambassadors from various countries also began to settle down in Beijing. The stable situation of Tongzhi Restoration took shape. This laid down a solid foundation for the success of Roan Hong's plan with the great support of officials including Zheng Guofan and Li Hongzhang, etc. The Qing government determined to dispatch 120 Chinese children to America, especially in scientific technology and industry. It also allocated special fund from coast defense expenditure as the expenses of the students. The people that we saw just now were exactly the group of Chinese children. However, although the period of schooling was 15 years, the students were called back to China merely after 9 years of study. Is there something behind it? At the time when these children left China, they were merely 12 to 13 years old. Yet they were Americanized merely several years after they got there. They gradually lost interest in 4 books, 5 classes, and Confucianism under the influence of American culture. Most of them were not willing to wear Chinese customs. Especially the long braids they kept at the back of their heads were not only troublesome, but usually received whole stares. Lots of children simply cut off their braids. The Qing government gradually lost confidence in the children after hearing about the news. What was more unacceptable for the Qing government was that some children gradually grew faith in Christianity under the impact of American culture. This is absolutely unbearable. The Qing government transmitted an order to lower levels to call back all of them. Since 1881, the rest 94 Chinese students in America, other than the disease and the few people that refused to come back, returned to China successfully in 3 groups. This is exactly the sense that we saw at the beginning. The purpose of Qing government in sending students to America was to cultivate a group of moralists that not only mastered Western scientific and technological knowledge, but still held fast to federal ethical code in their hearts through their hands of foreigners. However, what they forgot was that ideology always stepped forward of knowledge. Dear audience, what do you think?